service and technical support. So when all of a sudden I've had up to, I think, 500 at one of those companies reporting to somebody who reported to somebody who may have reported to me. So when all of a sudden there was 25 of these people in one center in one city, that didn't seem very scary to me. So it was still understanding, what the base business was. There was a comfort zone, and then could you really negotiate to buy it from an investment firm that was either going to close or sell it.
So Dwayne, what made you think you could be an author? And how did you go from graduating to decide to write a book? And can you tell us a little bit about that experience and how you turned that into a career?
Okay, for all of these students, how many of you like to write? Okay, I was not one of you. Growing up, if the teacher asked me to write a full paragraph, I would probably use a very minimum of it. Only because I loved to read, but I didn't like to write. But I turned the problem into another scenario. Why didn't I like to write? Well, in many cases, because I was prompted to write things that I didn't feel could help change the world. And so by me doing a lot of mentoring and spending a lot of time with youth, years ago I used to work for Disney. I got a chance to run part of an amusement park in Illinois, and from just interacting with youth and finding out that not enough people have told them no, and that's why they come up with these wonderful ideas. So if they have all these wonderful ideas, how do we help guide them through the steps in order to turn those ideas into either a product or service? And so I started just writing notes here and there. Before you know it, the notes started turning into chapters. And those chapters started turning into lesson plans. And those lesson plans started adding different discussion questions. And before you know it, I actually had to make this a book. And so I actually had a couple drafts of the book, and actually different youth centers that I mentored or coached read through the different versions and talk me through the different iterations of it. And one of the first businesses that I started was actually a graphic design business, and I actually started that here at the University of Iowa. We were located at the Bell Center in that lab. And from doing graphic design, I ended up doing the graphic design for that book as well. Started a publishing company. Actually talked to different people over on Amazon, and so we had it available for both paperback, Kindle, as well as hardcover. And what got many people excited about it, anything that I do, it has to have some kind of charitable approach to it. For me, philanthropy is a lifestyle. So when I talked to different vendors around the world, I told them that if they purchased the book, a percentage of it, up to around 25 to 50% of the royalties, will go toward youth programs around the world. And that's what really started getting a lot of different progress happening for the book. It also motivated me to continue to write and push, because I knew that the more books are out there, the more kids will have the tools to start their own businesses for pass the class and be the goal, but also the more that you're able to go out in society and make a difference. So it wasn't easy, but the motivation is there because I saw the end goal of it. They're smiling kids, it's a little bit easier. That's okay.
Great, thank you. Laura, your background, business student, correct? You were one, and if I remember right, you were one of these persons that took as many classes and all of that as possible, right?
I had 4 majors.
I thought, yeah, the Western campus had this history of trying to get as many majors as humanly possible, as fast as possible. So talk to me a little bit about, now you're involved in the biotech space for Accenture. How did you bridge that, going from kind of, traditional business student doing management consulting to moving into a pretty highly technical and a fast-paced industry like biotech?
Yeah, for me, these guys on the stage are all involved in the healthcare space as well, in one way or another. I think what's most interesting is the healthcare sector is evolving so quickly right now, and there's so much change. I promised myself I wouldn't mention the recent elections, but I am going to for a second. There's a trend that's happened with Obamacare, and a lot of the work in the space that I'm doing is around moving from traditional volume to value. So I don't know, are you guys familiar with the healthcare space? Anybody? No? Not so much? Maybe a couple tentative hands? Okay, appreciate those.
I think their knowledge goes to student health or something like that. That's about
fair, yeah. All fair. But, right, so basically there's a movement of you pay for drugs to you pay for the outcome of drugs, right? And that's where biotech is moving, that's where big pharma is going to be moving their devices. what's so interesting about this space, which I think kind of plays to my 4 majors, is you have to kind of look right, look left, look up, look down, look center, look everywhere, because the environment is shifting and moving so much, and it's not just knowledge of biotech that matters, it's knowledge in the healthcare space and the trends and the regulations that matter. So I probably totally did not answer your question, but in summary, how did I move to that space? To me, it's the most natural fit in the world, right? Because it's such an exciting space, which requires a lot of attention, and you got a whole lot of different skills, and I think to be successful there.
So to build on that, as you look, as all of you kind of look at the horizon today, where do you see opportunities? Where do you see, for the students in the audience in particular, where would you encourage them to look or at least consider as they start thinking about leaving Iowa and moving into their first career?
I'll go back to the first career aspect, and that is your first career is not going to be your last career. When I graduated, people were still thinking that their first job was going to be their job for the next 30 years and they would retire. That's not the case today. I've got 3 kids, they've had 8 jobs in 10 years. But that's the norm. And the key is to find situations that you can learn hopscotch and build your resume so that you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to be CEO of a company, if you just want to be head of support, build your knowledge base so that you can be successful. The key in terms of, I think, what's out there as opportunity, everything is. There is opportunity in any field you choose. The key is to understand the nuts and bolts, get into the real groundwork of understanding the processes that are found in each of the areas, and then determine what problem you can solve that will make it a better process. And a lot of people go immediately to solve a problem. The key is to really dig deep, understand what's going on in the trenches, and then evolve on opportunity as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I guess I won't address specific markets because we could actually talk about that, and right, like I could put on the banker hat, and no one wants that hat. It's terrible. Great firm. If you're going to investment banking, you'll be okay. You'll survive. Just eat wasabi peas to keep you awake. You'll make it. That being said, I think Don, to your point, and again, this speaks a lot to what consulting is, right? And that's developing a very strong core set of skills and understanding what your marketability is, what you bring to bear, and what improvements are you going to help that business make. So that's how I would kind of flip that question a bit in vein of how it's already been flipped.
First I did it on what Don said. I just cannot say it, I think I already said this a little earlier. Get as much out of, hey, there's a new twist. Get as much out of your classes as you can. You really don't know if you need to understand term sheets in finance until the next thing you know, you're working on a term sheet, you're 24 years old, and you go, gosh, I wish I would have paid a little more attention to term sheets, right? There's no laughs out of that, but maybe everybody gets term sheets. But my point is learn everything you can now. Wherever you go to work, realize that to me, you want to be a sponge. You really want to pick, to me, a company that will invest in you. And if they invest in you, then they put you in some kind of management development program, whether it's in marketing or finance or IT or engineering or whatever your specialty. Do whatever you like. Do whatever seems natural. Do what seems to make you happy. Because in our great world, there's spots for everybody. But you got to find it. And then it may take, as Don said, as I said, the reason I brought up earlier, how many different companies I worked for. I wanted to make sure you knew it wasn't like our grandfathers told us you'd work for one company. You will work for a number of companies. And you'll be successful at literally all of them if you put in the hard work. And no matter if you're successful or not, what you learn, there's 2 outcomes to every situation, right? You win and what's the other outcome? You learn. No, you don't lose. No. That's a great question. You win or you learn. You never lose. You learn, you come back better the next day, better the next week, better the next year.
So you're saying that the Cubs were some of the smartest baseball people, but they've learned so much in 108 years. Is that what you're saying, Joe?
It paid it off this year.
You know, the Hawkeyes too, actually, we saw it this past weekend.
Speaking of payoff for the Cubs, just real quick, I had a friend that was in Vegas last year, and the odds at that time when he put down $100, 8-1, odds dropped. He forgot about his ticket. And after they won, his son said, "Dad, did you still have that ticket?" And he said, "Yeah, I pulled it out, and there was nothing on the back of it. It was on thermal. Does anyone know how you make thermal paper chill and pull the results back up? You use a hair dryer, and it heats the paper back up, and then you can see the result, and he collected." But anyway, the Cubs are definitely winning.
I'd probably add on to David's question. While you're in school, have the intent to graduate dangerous. And what I mean by graduate dangerous, build your network. Some of the people who are sitting next to you are going to be working in something that you may need to utilize their skill set. Talk to your professors. Why they don't charge you an invoice. Definitely reach out to the different resources that are here on campus. I learned a lot about business when I lived in France and studied abroad. I learned about large corporate structures when I interned at Disney. I learned about what are some of the pros and cons about starting different businesses by some of my fellow teammates in classes, as well as some of the entrepreneurs that were on this campus. And this was years ago. And so right now, you have access to a lot more resources than I had. And so that's one of the ways I'll say graduate dangerous. Utilize internships, utilize each other, and utilize the staff and professors here. 2, share what you're up to. Many times as entrepreneurs, we have these great, wonderful ideas that stays in our head, but if we don't share it, we don't open ourselves up to learning when somebody can say, "Hey, you know what, that's a great idea, here's how I can help out." If your hand is closed, you're not going to do anything. If your hand is open to share something, that's also open to receive something as well. And 3, be authentic. Many cases, we may look on TV or look on Shark Tank and other shows where everybody's trying to put on certain errors or have a certain perception. When you're authentic, not only is it easier on yourself, but other people will say, "Hey, you know what, that person's real, that person's genuine. I really want to see what I can do to help them on their journey." There's also, if you don't focus on helping build your dream, you're going to spend a lifetime building someone else's.
It's a great point. It's a good segue, too, to think about. One of the things we try to push to students is build your network, build your network. And a lot of students will say, "Well, I don't know what that means, I don't know how you do that." And some of the students aren't comfortable going up to people and, introducing themselves. So you talk a little bit about how do you develop that skill set? How do you actually develop a network? How do you build and then manage that network? And how have all of you done that in your careers?
So I can start off. In addition to other different things, I'm also a professor downtown Chicago at Columbia University, where I teach some of the business entrepreneurial classes. And no matter what the curriculum that I write for that semester, I always include a seminar on networking. And how many of you in this room actually have a LinkedIn profile? How many of you have an updated LinkedIn profile? Okay, some of the hands changed. What I would usually teach my students is how to do a critical path to reach the goal or the career choice that you want. Now, at Columbia, most of my students are in film production or in the arts. And has anybody heard of the TV show Scandal? Or Little Bird or Grey's Anatomy? Well, one of my students wanted an intern with Shonda Rhimes. And she's like, "Professor Wilson, it's impossible." Like, number one, get rid of the word impossible, separate it, use the word possible. So that's the first thing. 2, I told her, what company does Shonda Rhimes run? Utilizing her LinkedIn network, I told her, as a student, if you can reach out to the people, to the companies that you want to intern or potentially interview, they're going to be, in many cases, more receptive of you because you're a student. They understand that you're seeking knowledge. They understand that you're looking for opportunity. And for many of them, they want to provide that opportunity because sometimes it can be getting a business need, it can be ego, right? I was able to help the student out. But definitely utilize your LinkedIn networks and don't be afraid for introductions. Don't be afraid for recommendations. Post as much content as you possibly can because it raises your brand, it raises your value proposition, and people can really see what you're up to. So, lose the fear. I'm an introvert. Usually I used to be terrified of being in front of people, but the more you reach out to people, either virtually, but especially in person, you'll really start to see some results at it.
We'll go in the line here. So first of all, I think most Iowans love other Iowans, especially in the big corporate environment. So if someone reaches out to me, and I can't always help, but I'll always try to help. So I think just have confidence in your Iowa network, and that, you know, especially those of us who are in a big corporate job, right? Like, we're going to do everything we can to bring more Iowans, because I'm a big believer that someone from Iowa is just as good as someone from Northwestern or the University of Chicago or any other institution, all of which I recruit at, by the way. And I think the CVs are best of Iowa is absolutely best of some of these other institutions. So I think keep that in mind. The other thing is, you know, doing everything we talked about. Don't be afraid of a no. No is just a path to some other yes, right? And you know, within my own company, networking is just so critical. I will literally bring someone onto my team on the spot if they get recommendations from 3 or 4 other people that I know and have a good reputation, right? If someone's going to vouch for someone else, I barely need to even have much of a conversation, right? So I think once you do get to that kind of environment, you know, just having a coffee, to Dwayne's point, just shooting over a LinkedIn message. One of the #1 things that I actually see from Iowa students is, y'all are pretty polite, right? Pretty polite group. So oftentimes someone will reach out to me on LinkedIn, and then, you know, I'll get busy, and I didn't mean to get busy, and things, you know, happen, whatever. You know, I'm hopping on a flight to London tomorrow morning for workshops for the rest of the week. You know, I might miss some emails, right? So be persistent. Don't be afraid to reach out again and again and again. Because, again, that's the thing I see from a lot of Iowa students is they'll do the reach out once and then they don't want to bother anyone. And when it comes to your career and your personal success, it is not a bother. It is your future. So bother people.
What was just said is just spot on. You are your own advocate. No one's going to advocate more than yourself. One of the things that is known around the U.S., and it's occurred at my companies, it's occurred with my children, and friends of my children, is you are coming from a state that is known for great workers. You can market yourself as an Iowan, and because of prior Iowans out in the workplace, you have a leg up on many people, whether it be on the East Coast or the West Coast, or even in Chicago. There are contacts out there, and again, network with Iowans. If you need to get somebody to 7 seats of separation, if you don't know that person, somebody else who might know that person through LinkedIn or that you might know through a family contact, utilize it. Don't worry about being too polite. The key is to be able to prove and show who you are. And once you get that contact or once you get that job, it's up to you to carry on the Iowa work ethic and go that extra mile.
So what is networking? Well, it's some form of communications, right? And it could be electronic, but it could also be what one of your professors asked you to do before we got on stage today, right? Meet someone behind you, meet someone, I wasn't following along, but to the left, to the right, whatever it was. You don't know who you're going to meet. I did see someone in the back up there where we were standing, actually meeting someone and actually writing down maybe their name or number or cell phone or whatever, email. That's great. I know I met 2 of the panelists that I've never met before, and I've already exchanged business cards. I plan on following up for one reason or another with the people on the stage that I didn't know previously. Networking is really just putting yourself out there. I mean, it's kind of the modern way of putting a for sale sign, or I mean, for sale, for rent, for hire, for whatever, so that you can communicate. And the people that do network, or people that can make a prospect call to maybe make a sale, I would almost bet a lot of money they're going to be more successful in income, maybe not in other ways in life, but in income than people that resist networking or that resist picking up a phone to make a call. I'm not going to say more successful in life, but less successful on the income side.
So what I'd like to do now, I'm going to ask a couple more questions, but if you've got questions, we'd like to come forward. Kate, if you can help get the microphone in place for them. And this is your chance. We got 4 phenomenal people up here for you to ask your question. And as we say in school, there's no dumb questions. This is a great chance for you to share, to learn from them as well. So I'm going to ask one more question before we kind of open up to the students. What makes you tick? What gets you excited in the day and makes you, want to seize the day every day?
I still want to do more. I mean, I want to do more, and I want to do more, and I want to do more. And, it isn't necessarily, okay, I'm going to go with something that I wasn't thinking about talking about that I guess. Has anybody ever heard of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? What do y'all think of it? You guys like that? Maybe ask me a question about that. It's my favorite book. My whole business career is based on that. As I left University of Iowa in December of '79, all of a sudden I realized, what do I want to be? Where do I want to work? What's going to make of me? And someone gave me that book. And in that book, it basically had 13 principles, pretty well tested to understand the concept of the book. But one of them was write down some goals. And it actually suggested, maybe the first one is, someday, maybe by delivering personal services, I'll make $50,000 someday in my life. But if you ever hit that goal, then make another one. For the next 20 years of my life, I change those goals every few years, financially, business, family, accomplishments. And that's only one chapter out of the 13 chapters, about 160 pages, takes a couple hours to read. Make goals, be driven, see what you can do. That's what I'm doing. I'm still thinking of all the things that I can do. And it isn't necessarily about money, it isn't about power. It's just really about how can I get involved, either help the product or services that I'm going to take over do better, or help the people that represent that product be more successful.
I wake up every day trying to figure out what challenges that I can go after that I haven't gone after before, as well as trying to find ways that I can help others be successful. I've gotten the most pleasure out of all my businesses in terms of helping the associates that have been in my businesses make me successful. And in return, I try to make them as successful as possible. As Sheldon has talked about the book, my book that really rang very true, and I've lived by that in my businesses, is Good to Great. It's just a book that talks about getting people and involving those individuals and making them as successful as possible. And to me, that's where I get my greatest thrill.
I'm going to get a less exciting answer. Just to warn you guys. So just while we're doing book recommendations, I feel compelled. I think the book that is most critical to read, especially if you're entering a corporate environment, is called Servant Leadership. It talks a lot about how you've got responsibility as a leader. And for me, I think I wake up every day for 2 reasons. One, because I feel a lot of responsibility. David, right, I was part of the first entrepreneurship youth camp, like back in, old school, back with like Slack.
You're aging us. You're aging us.
I'm aging out, right? Like, it's still Instagram. It's cool. Right? But for me, it's responsibility, right? And my parents both grew up on farms in Iowa, and I think their greatest wish was to make sure that their kids could experience more and be. I would never call myself more successful than my parents because they were my ultimate role models and amazing people, but we would have access to more and have access to more success, right? So I feel a lot of responsibility for all of the great opportunities that I've both earned and been given, and to try to live up to that a little bit. So, some good old healthy Iowa guilt comes into play here. Hope you guys feel it too. It's not just me. Share love on the stage. I think the other reason is I've got like this amazing travel bug and like opportunity bug that like just keeps biting me, and I'm like, let's go live in Tanzania for 4 months. Let's go to Ireland. Let's go to London. Let's see what let's work in Switzerland for a bit. And just the opportunity, especially growing up in, I know a lot of you guys are from Illinois, but right, Iowa, Illinois, like it can be a little bit of a small internal place, and having the opportunity to work on global teams, to get to know different perspectives and viewpoints. I mentioned tomorrow I'm flying to London, and I'm going to work on a team with folks from India, France, Switzerland, the UK, Ireland, US, obviously, and Canada, right? And to get that kind of international experience is something that really excites me, and is a big reason why I think I'm still doing this job, to wake up to that opportunity and responsibility.
Well, I have a few reasons. One, I'm very much a futurist, and so usually in the morning I close my eyes and I try to imagine what does the world look like 100 years from now. And so once I kind of imagine the world 100 years from now, I always try to think, what impact did I have and what the world looks like 100 years from now? And that helps me guide on what are some of the businesses that I want to help develop? What are some of the different entrepreneurs I want to help coach? What are some of the different realms of philanthropy do I want to help develop? And if something, as I'm imagining 100 years from now, isn't quite right, then I try to see, okay, what can I do today to try to focus on that and develop that? Number two, I write down all my ideas. And right now, my current database, I use a system that's red light, don't use that idea anymore. Yellow light, do some more research, green light means, okay, go for it. I posted 785 different ideas in various different stages. Will I get them all in my lifetime? Probably not. But the fact that they're already written down means they're already a possibility. And so I try to look at those ideas of how can I put this within that 100-year plan. And three, I look at that as in terms of legacy. Legacy on how do we help give back to society? How do we help give back to this community, whether it's a university community, whether it's a global community. And those are some of the things that keep me motivated. Each day I have an opportunity to work with wonderful nonprofits and for-profits doing great work, and that's what keeps me motivated and continuing.
Okay, I gotta ask, what does the world look like 100 years from now? Is it more Star Wars, Star Trek?
It's a great combination between Star Trek and Majestic. We just have to get successful generations with black cars.
Fingers crossed.
So if there's any questions, please come down, and I will continue to. We got a question here, Greg. Oh. So now we're ready for questions. Go ahead.
I guess my question is about when you at the very start we were talking about the entrepreneurial skills to live something that's not very well and turn it into a successful business. My question is basically, you guys take pride in that, but like what specific things did you guys bring to the table that basically helped turn that into a successful business from something that obviously wasn't going down the right path?
So, can you kind of restate that? What kind of skill sets they bring?
I guess what I'm asking is like just either whether it be like personal like stories or like stuff that you did have done, or like what new did you guys bring to the table that basically whether it be a mindset or actual things that you've done to help live that.
Yeah, so I'll give a corporate example because I'm hashtag corporate. I don't know what people say. We used to do a squad the other day and gold tips. Like, oh God. So please help me. Help me. I want to be. I want to. So That being said, they wanted to increase brand loyalty. So basically they came to us and said, oh my gosh, what do we do? Our patent's going to expire. So basically, guys, a patent helps make lots and lots of money on a drug. And then afterwards, other companies can come in and make it cheaper, and then we don't make as much money. So we said our patent's going to expire. How can we increase brand loyalty? We had all these ideas and all these strategies in place. And ultimately, we landed on one big idea. And because in the corporate environment, everyone wants immediate returns, there are going to be big returns. All the energy was, and all the investment, frankly, it was focused on this big national partnership that would have been with a retail pharmacy with about 5,400 stores nationwide. You can probably guess which one. There's two that are options for you. And it was really hard, right? And it wasn't going very well. So I think the biggest thing that you can bring to the table is resilience and flexibility. So resilience to understand that, okay, this is going to be hard, I'm going to fail, there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be lots of financial pressure, and flexibility to think outside the box and figure out how can we make this successful, even if it's outside of the original construct, the idea. So ultimately, we ended up doing a really small pilot in Ohio with 50 stores. I just blew up the number quite a bit. 50 stores. It was very successful. We saw an 8-to-1 ROI. So we were able to spread that to the corporate office. Then we were able to spread that nationally. And then this big, complex, hairy deal that wasn't working very well over here that we had started with suddenly became something really successful and generated about $30 to $40 million worth of additional revenue for them over 1 year. So it ended really well. So resilience and flexibility are, I think, the key things you can bring to the table there.
Let me give you a different answer from a different perspective. I think what you said was what skills you bring to the table. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So I'm on board at 2 accelerators in Des Moines. One's a global insurance accelerator, which is global, and one's a very local one, Square One Des Moines. And the one thing that is required as we do evaluations of people that want to be in the accelerator is that it's a team. It's a team. So let's say you're a sales and marketing guy. I'm not even sure if I'm close, but let's just say you're a business guy. We probably wouldn't take you to a single entrepreneur in an accelerator. We'd want you to have, if it's a software product, a software partner. If it was some kind of physical product, we might want you to have an engineering partner. We might even want you to have 2. The more the team is well-rounded, the better. So what you bring to the table is, unless you can just invent something on your own and create it on your own and think you can take it to the market pretty singularly, we want you to develop a little team. And what you bring is a piece of the puzzle. You're going to do the best you can with the skill sets that you have, and you hope that of your team members as well.
So I'm going to come from a third angle, and that's from owning companies. I think one of the best skills that I've ever had was always having the glass half full. There's always individuals out there. There are always individuals that will try to shoot your idea down. In one of my companies, I had a partner that literally, I would come in the morning and I greet everybody in a very positive. He would come in and literally berate everybody in the company. And it got to the point after 4 years that either he was going to have to go or I was going to have to go, because it was a yin-yang and no one knew what the culture of the company was going to be. And so I think having a positive outlook, understanding that if something's not working, you've got to look for different solutions, being able to pivot and being able to look for different solutions if it's not working. That's part of the challenge of being an entrepreneur, is trying to figure out the puzzle, putting those puzzle pieces together with different people within an organization, and then being able to grow.
Thank you.
Hi guys. So I'm Shira Zito, first drug bug service inevitable. It's part of being an entrepreneur. And you kind of touched on this earlier, but how do you guys know when you hit those road bumps, if it's time to just go over that bump or you need to pivot? And if you do, what was your personal story? How did you decide whether or not it was time to move forward or turn around and try something else?
I can take that. Back in 2012, I was actually in the process of relocating to another state. I was in Illinois at the time to help go over a very, very citywide project. And this is when I was an associate director for a nonprofit. Helped build some things, it was great. And then I get a phone call from a board member saying, "We just got rid of your boss. Would you take over the organization?" And I repeatedly told him months before that, no, take it over, but in my heart I knew if I didn't take that role, the organization would suffer and possibly close. And this was something that actually impacted kids and actually saved lives. So I took on the role. Once I got a chance to look at the accounting books, I realized we were in a very large deficit, and that's one of the reasons why they let them go. And so here I am, taking over a nonprofit that is in the red, that a lot of the grants in the state were drying up, that was in a community that was plagued by a lot of violence, and so many different petitions did not want to come to the center. We just built a brand new $2.7 million facility, and I had no other contemporaries in the organization. So in my mind, I was in this situation. However, how I was able to pivot from there was we can continue to do the same thing that the previous leadership did and continue to run this organization in the red, or we can start to look at things from a strategic standpoint. One, I talked to different stakeholders, such as I talked to the youth, I talked to the families, I talked to the organization of unemployed grants. I get that outside perspective by partnering with the University of Chicago to develop something. The organization was called Peace Corner, and I called it the Peace Corner University Program. We designed a curriculum that on paper, the valuation was $500,000 per year just for this one program. I ran the entire program with $50,000 by pivoting, by reaching out to organizations that wanted to be a part of this, that wanted to donate their time and resources. And so, long story short, within less than a year, we went from a deficit to a surplus, and we were able to restore hope back to the organization. So sometimes you really have to look at what has happened in the past. And your books of an organization can do that. The stakeholders will provide information on what happened, what didn't happen, as well as you have to take an internal assessment of yourself. Can you run an organization the same way as the previous organization? Sometimes the best answer is no. You have to find your own path in order to find the solutions to make it happen. And that's what reaching out and delegating and doing that whole process comes to.
I'll give you two quick pivots. The first was when my roommates came home with human brothers with their boxes in their hands during the financial crisis, and I didn't know if they had jobs. The next day, they both did. They worked at Barclays. It was all good. And at that moment, I had this shaky wake-up call that maybe the 18 to 20 hours a day I was spending at Goldman Sachs in their housing group maybe wasn't the best use of my time, and it wasn't going to turn out well. So that was the first pivot, seeing everything crumble around you in the financial crisis, real time from 85 Hot Street. I think the second pivot has happened a couple times in my career, and it's when you figure out you plateau, right? And I think that's a really natural point, and it's happened twice now. So the first was this retail pharmacy work that I referenced earlier, where I've been doing it for 2.5 years. I'd taken it from strategy to execution. The thing was in steady state, it was running, there wasn't a lot of innovation I could add to it. It was like, all right, I'm out. I think this is a good time to leave. The second was, I had worked to build our West Coast practice at Accenture, so I was doing a lot of work in San Francisco and Switzerland, and let me tell you, if you're going to have two work locations you have to travel to, San Francisco and Switzerland, they are right up there. Like, those are some travel goals, guys. With that being said, we've grown the practice. Things, again, were in steady state. It wasn't as interesting as it used to be, and it was, okay, now it's time to So I think one, a cataclysmic tragedy can make you pivot of our financial markets, so I hope that doesn't happen to any of you. And two is when you sort of naturally think about that you've reached a plateau in your career, and it's going to happen many, many times, as I'm sure these gentlemen can speak to and Dwayne experienced as well.
I'll throw out something here, and it's not a company that I ran, but when we moved back to Iowa from Colorado, back to Iowa from Colorado, I joined a nonprofit board. One of the nonprofit boards had no technology without getting too deep into it. And it was me that realized they were happy to have me as a board member, a paying board member, because it was in the red. It was losing money. And, they kind of hid that from me. So next thing you know, you're on, you can either immediately leave the board, or you can try to, help them. So we tried to dig into what was going on. And what I realized was out of my past in Colorado, we had had the same issues 4 or 5 years before. I went through how we handled 4 or 5 of the same problems. And over the next 6, 7 years, it got, maybe over the next couple of years, it got in the black. And the next 5 years, probably a model nonprofit. Having said that, I've read the whole book. I'm sure most of you have. The World is Flat. Take ideas. First of all, go to the low-price countries in the world to do your work. Having said that, take ideas from all over the world. Take ideas from other states. Take ideas from wherever and use them to your benefit.
From the entrepreneurial aspect, in terms of building companies, the pivot aspect is very personal, and you gain additional information every time that you succeed as well as fail. As I started my discussion, failure is the best time to learn. It's also the most painful, and you'll never stop learning, whether you're successful or failing. But that knowledge as you grow will allow you to understand when you need to pivot. That's kind of a layout here, it's a nebulous thing, but every experience, whether you're in a class that you're having issues with, whether you're in a relationship that you're having success with or failure, all of those will build upon your understanding of when it's right to pivot and when it's right to go the course that you do.
So what, can you give a, think about, when we look at, young people will look at successful entrepreneurs or business people, and oftentimes, think, well, they were lucky or they were in the right place at the right time, and, it can't happen to me. What do you say to that? What do you say to people that, that don't have that, or they feel like, it's not going to happen for them because of, luck or timing, or they're not wealthy or something like that? How would you respond to somebody that thinks that?
But opportunity plus hard work equals what? Most people think luck, right? It's where opportunity plus hard work. You put yourself in a better situation. I don't care. Let's talk about football. One of David's favorite topics. When you're not winning, what's the coach tell you to do? All right, work harder. Go back to the basics. Go back to the drawing board. Really, everybody, women's up, man's up, whatever the sport is, right? But it's where opportunity meets hard work equals luck. So then you say, the harder I work, the luckier I get, right? Because probably you're not going to be too lucky, truly, if you don't work hard. I'm talking about a business now. I'm not talking about a craps table or something like that. But there you still need to know the rules and the rules of the game. I guess that's all I have to say.
One thing I always say, especially as an entrepreneur, you're going to have moments where you're going to look in the mirror and say, why am I doing this? It's costing me too much money, maybe costing me time, I may be getting frustrated with progress. But then, as I said earlier, I have close to 700 and something ideas written down. When you write down your ideas, it's those moments where you may doubt yourself. It's moments where you may get frustrated or angry. When we look at that paper and say, you know what, this is why I'm doing this, trouble's not always going to last forever. The pain of going through a business is not always going to be there. focus on the success or focus on the learning experience. I can't tell you how many times I have failed in different business decisions, how many times I wish I could go back in time and change different business concepts. But from each one of those past potential failures or failures, I've learned to just get a little bit better next time. So you don't have to worry about trying to be perfect. There is no perfect moment to start your business. There is no perfect business model. You have to find the one that works for you and your team, but just understand that it's a process. And just stay on the process and keep analyzing it to keep moving forward. And don't doubt yourself.
I think there's one other equation that Sheldon left out in terms of opportunity and hard work, and that's time. You can have and you can work, and this is what I'm finding with my current business. You can have and work the hardest, you can have opportunities that you see out there, but the timing for what you're trying to do has to be also there for you to be successful. And sometimes you're successful and sometimes you're not. The timing, the relationships, you just have to follow it. You want to call it luck, great, but I think that it's kind of this brew that happens when an entrepreneur that makes somebody successful.
I guess the one thing I got to that is, there are dumb ideas, and you will have dumb ideas. I'm sure we've all had lots of dumb ideas. You will fail. You could wake up today and fail. So it's just a question of what are you going to do with that? That's it.
So as Don says, how many times did he fail to make a light bulb?
So all of you who've been successful in your career, but you also find time to give back. And one of the things we try to talk to our students about is the role that they have to play in society beyond just work and that. So can you tell us why you come to give talks like this? Why do you mentor young entrepreneurs? What is it that, and what do you get out of that experience for giving back and helping someone else? And how important that is to you?
Well, for me personally, that's one of the highlights of myself in terms of being able to give back and being able to provide an opportunity for others to come and ask me. I would imagine everyone on this stage would welcome the opportunity for students to reach out to them and give them advice if they have questions. But I personally, it's very meaningful for me. I sit on a number of boards here at the university. I sit on boards of other organizations. What I have found over the years is the more that I get, the more that I get back.
That's a famous line. When I graduated and I didn't have a job, I went to see everybody I knew, in addition to putting out applications, everybody I knew whose friends of my parents had better jobs or hiring jobs. And, what I learned in that process was people said, be good at something. You need a chance. You need to get a start. You need to get your foot in the door. As I started putting in my business career, anybody who ever asked me, could I have a counseling session or career counseling session or career plan, said whether your age, younger than your age, older than your age, I said yes to every one of those. I have done 50, 55 of those, maybe not that many, but plenty, certainly more than a few. And my whole goal has been to give back. Now, at a different level, I'm also on a few boards along the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, which is just a charitable organization to make sure when people give money, it hopefully lasts a lifetime, or lasts lifetimes after even people pass away. So, yeah, I think it's important to give back in settings like this, in one-on-one, in group, in webinars, however you can do it. And then it's great to also give back to whatever your favorite passions are, and even for a long, long time.
For me, it kind of comes back to when I said that 100-year future, that's where legacy comes into play. Where, what do you leave this world? All of us had, but during that time period, before that, how were we able to change some lives? Whether we were able to change lives financially, emotionally, build the next generation. It's very important. And you will definitely see on ways and how it comes back to you, because trust me, people are investing in you. They're investing in talking with you, mentoring you, guiding you, and your responsibility to that is to do the exact same thing for those who may see your assistance as well. So that's something that's very important. And that's actually one of the main guidelines of why I started my foundation, was because I got a chance to meet so many wonderful organizations, but I wanted to turn not just giving it to, hey, great. How do I turn it into a lifestyle where you go shopping at a certain store or sitting at a real store at market cost, if you buy a certain object, if you go to a certain party, or if you pay a bill, how do we have ways on how it gives back to society? And I believe that that becomes the norm. Who knows what we can do in this world? So that's why I think it's very important that we give back. The second